Hi and welcome to My Resolution Challenge Week 1. I'm really excited that you've decided to join us on this challenge, and I hope that the material that we present over the next 12 weeks is going to really empower you to achieve your goals. I know that these strategies work because I've used them over and over again in my own lives and seen them applied in the lives of my clients with great success. So I really look forward to hearing back from you about your results. We're out and about today because I wanted to share with you a little bit about focus and the power that focus can have on achieving your goals. I think there's no greater example of where focus is really important as in when you're driving. It's okay to take your eyes off the road from time to time while you're driving your car. You can check your blind spots, you can look around from time to time, you can check your speed. But if you take your eyes off the road for too long, as you would know, it is quite easy to get off course. And in fact, the longer you keep your eyes off the road, the more chance there is of you not ending up where you hope to be. When I first got my license, I was 16 and a half, and I piled all of my friends into the car for our first taste of real freedom, getting out and about in our own set of wheels, going where we wanted to go, no parents, and we took off to the beach. Headed off quite early one day with all the friends, and we were out and about. We were driving along the beach road down here in Adelaide, and 16-year-old guys in the car. We were also on the prowl. We were having a bit of a look around at if the ladies were out and about, and I found it. The example was brought home quite clearly to me when my eyes were distracted from the road for a little bit longer than would be safe. As I watched a young lady walk past, I didn't notice that there was actually a curve in the road, and even though I kept the wheel nice and straight, the road did not go where I expected it, and needless to say, the car and all of us ended up on a dirt strip. Thankfully, it wasn't someone's front yard or a Stobie pole or anything. We were lucky it was just an open piece of dirt. But it did actually puncture one of my tyres, and quite embarrassing. The young lady I was checking out did notice, and so did a few other people in their houses that were surrounding this piece of dirt. And what made it worse is that I hadn't actually checked the new car that I had as to see whether it had a kit for changing a spare tyre. It didn't. It didn't have any tools, so we then had to go and door knock and find somebody else that we could explain our embarrassing situation to, and talk about what we had just done to try and get a toolkit. I was quite embarrassed, but it did really bring home to me how important it is to keep your focus where you want to go. And this is so applicable back to our goals in life. 97%, statistics will say 97% of people will not achieve their New Year's resolutions this year or any year. And I believe a big factor in that is to do with focus. If you only look at your goals once a year on New Year's Eve, there's a lot of time. There's 365 days there in between you looking at the goals that you've got to get off of track. 365 days where you could wander off the path and go a direction that you're not wanting to go. This is what I really want to talk about this week, is ways that we can maintain our focus on what we want to achieve. Because the more you keep your focus on what you want to achieve, the more it is in your line of sight every day, the easier it is for you to keep on track. Did you know in the 1930s they did a survey of young students who were graduating from Harvard? They asked them how many of them had written down goals for their life and written down a plan for their future. Surprisingly, only 3% of these graduates from this prestigious school had actually written down a plan for their life. But what was even more surprising is they followed these students over the next 30 years, and that 3% who had chosen their goal and had committed to writing it down and making it a focus was collectively worth more than the other 97% combined. That's 3% who focused on what they wanted to achieve and kept that in their vision the whole time, was collectively worth more than 97% of Harvard graduates. Now, when I first read that statistic, it blew me away. But having now worked with hundreds of people on achieving their goals, it doesn't surprise me at all. This is such a powerful thing that is so simple. It's something that you can do straight away. You know what it is that you want to achieve. You know why it is that you signed up for this course. Can I ask you right now to write it down? In this week's email that I sent you through, there's a couple of little questions and little actions to take to make that writing down process even more powerful, and take it to another level when it comes to your likelihood of success. And I want to encourage you to do that action straight away. Every day you've put off working on your goal, or to put off taking the action that you need to take, is another day backwards. Every day we are either evolving or dissolving. We're either going forward or we are going backwards. There's no such thing as standing still. And by saying, I will do that tomorrow, what you're actually doing is taking a step backwards. So what I want to encourage you to do is straight away go back to the email that we sent you this week and follow through on doing the actions. Don't get distracted. Don't say that you'll do it this afternoon or tomorrow or next week. Do it right away. And this is really important, that you take the actions that we send you each week. Otherwise, this course really is worth nothing. Now, I guarantee you, if you follow through in watching the videos and doing the actions in this next 12 weeks, that you are going to see some powerful results, and you're going to see a heap of progress towards your goals. So that's it for this week's lesson. Your focus will determine the direction that you travel and your likelihood of success. So go straight back to your email now, take the action that it contains, and I look forward to seeing you next week for part 2.